There are things that we don't want to happen, but have to accept. Things we don't want to know, but have to learn. People we can't live without, but have to let go. Nancy Stephen, The Truth About Butterflies. The game of life is a lot like football. You have to tackle your problems, block your fears, and score your points when you get the opportunity. Louis Grizzard.
Good morning. My name is Georgia Swank, and I'm a sixth form boarder from Bedford, New York. Today, I want to talk to you about the most important person in my life, my mom, Cindy Whitman Swank. This past summer was one that I will forever hate and wish had never, ever happened. My incredible mom lost her long-fought battle against cancer. Looking back now, I think that I was in a complete state of shock after my mom had died. I simply could not believe that this was happening to me and my family. All of a sudden, my life had drastically changed, and I had to keep moving forward and begin to navigate my life without her. Today, I want to honor and remember my mom by sharing some of the memories, advice, and stories that she has left behind with me. For those of you that knew my mom, I think that we can all agree that she was a ray of sunshine. She radiated positivity and had amazing energy. Everywhere she went, she instantly lit up the room with her stunning smile and immediate warmth. She managed to make each individual she met feel special and important. When my mom met you, she genuinely wanted to know everything about you, and she really cared what you had to say. My mom could talk to just about anyone. According to my dad, it was extremely hard to get my mom to leave a gathering because she wanted to talk to everyone, and of course, everyone wanted to talk to her. Mom was a super popular gal. My mom is the epitome of how I try to go about and live my life. My mom and dad are the reasons why my three siblings and I are the people we are today. They taught us to be kind, respectful, loving, passionate, hardworking, and simply good people. Our family was the most important thing to Mom. Along with being a mother of 4 busy kids, she juggled a full-time job as a real estate agent and home decorator. She thrived in both realms of her life, never failing to give 100%. She was the best mom that anyone could have ever asked for, and I'm so lucky that she was mine for 17 years. Yes, my mom is no longer physically here, but I know she is still always with me. I will never forget and always hold on to the happy memories we shared. Some of my strongest and favorite memories of my mom are dancing in the kitchen, watching the movie The Holiday with her and my sister Elsie every Christmas together, singing to Adele in the car, shopping for the perfect dress, and racing Mom to the steps of my preschool every morning. It took me a long time to figure out that she always let me win. My mom always knew what to say. I will never forget all of the advice and wisdom that my mom has shared with me. I would like to share some of that good advice with you. Number 1, be curious. Approach life in an engaging way. Be eager to know and learn. My mom was never done learning. Number 2, be creative. Do your best to think outside the box and create something beautiful or unique out of what may not at first seem so beautiful. My mom had the most artistic eye and the most creative mind. Whether it was the countless and chic fabrics that she would somehow piece together in our living room, or the different houses we moved into, each one was a project for her as she renovated and transformed it. When we were growing up, we moved a lot. And when we would all go with Mom to look at a possible new house, my dad's siblings and I would wonder what she possibly could be thinking. She would stand outside the ugliest, oldest house and promise us that she would make it beautiful. And she always did. Or who could forget my 4th grade Halloween costume, where I went as trash. Only the night before, she was in a trash bag dress and a perfectly constructed hat of recyclable items. Bottles, cardboard rolls, cupcake wrappers, and a V8 can, all glued together. My costume was absolutely genius, and I felt like the coolest girl in school the next day, as my classmates oohed and awed at my one-of-a-kind costume. No matter what, my mom saw saw great potential in whatever she laid her eyes on. Whether it was an old house, a dress buried deep in the racks of a consignment shop, or the potential of each one of her 4 children. Number 3, be positive with yourself and others. My mom believed that if you said negative things about yourself, you would start to believe them. She was quick to compliment us when we did the right thing. But Mom was also real. She would not hesitate to tell us when we were in the wrong or when we had not given something our very best. My mom never stopped encouraging us to become the best versions of ourselves. Number 4, surround yourself with kind and loving people, not those who are selfish and mean-spirited. Remove yourself from negative situations. My mom would say, this protects your beautiful soul. My mom hated gossip. She tried to never say a bad thing about anyone and encouraged us to do the same. Finally, my favorite piece of advice that my mom has left me with is her saying of block and tackle. I'm not sure when or how my mom started using this expression, and she wasn't a huge football fan either, but this message was one that has always resonated with me. Block and tackle to my mom meant taking on one thing at a time. Instead of becoming overwhelmed by the bigger picture, you have to break down the greater whole into smaller pieces. Eventually, you will have accomplished that greater task. Throughout my entire Westminster career, my mom would always say this to me when I was stressed with schoolwork or other aspects of my life. I vividly remember her saying, "Gee, you just have to block and tackle." I chose this expression as my senior quote because it will always remind me of the person who encouraged and believed in me the most. I have come to believe there is a strong correlation between my mom's saying of block and tackle and Westminster's motto of grit and grace. In simplest terms, grit and grace means giving it your all, while displaying a positive attitude and showing strength and dignity while doing so. My mom was the biggest believer in grit and grace. And although she did not attend Westminster, she lived by this motto throughout her entire life until the very end. My mom grew very sick and was eventually moved into the ICU in the hospital. Seeing her like this was the hardest thing I have ever gone through. Although her body had been seriously compromised by her cancer, her spirits remained high, she maintained her sense of humor, and her beautiful smile never left her face. My mom showed tremendous grit and grace for all of us in her last couple of days. Her strength in these moments was truly inspiring. Now when I experience difficulty, I think of my mom. She motivates me to power through whatever I'm doing and to persevere with positivity. This applies to adjusting to life without Mom. These past 7 months have not been easy, and I've come to the realization that it never ever will be. All I can do is take on one day at a time and continue to walk and tackle. Thank you.